the number one mistake that I made, right, and a lot of men make this mistake, is having no purpose, right? Lack of purpose in life. And when we don't have purpose as men, right, we don't end up striving for more. There's no destination, right, in life, so to speak. You're not ambitious, right? You're not in control of your life. And you have this mentality, especially when you're in your 20s, right? I know I did, where I thought, I'll worry about this later, right? I'm still young, full of testosterone, I'll worry about this later. Later came at age 34 2 years ago, and I was broken, right? So I accumulated the wrong habits, the wrong lifestyle choices. I built up that wrong momentum, and I ended up paying the ultimate price 2 years ago, right? So it came back to bite me. Whatever I ignored in my 20s came back to bite me, came to light twice as hard. And that's something I wish I focused on earlier in my 20s, right? Building that purpose. And a lot of men are unclear on how to build their purpose, right? And I was one of those individuals as well. But a mentor told me, right, 2 years ago, he's like, why don't you focus on what's in your control? And that's to rebuild your character, become a better version of yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually, right? Destroy that old identity. Because when you focus on building that character, rebuilding yourself, rebuilding that mindset, right, through your daily habits, through your lifestyle choices, when you stack up the right momentum and you build that character and you just focus on getting 1% better and just focus on purely building that character, building that role model you never had, that's when doors start opening in your life, right? Because think about it. When you're operating through your highest self, the path's a lot more clearer, right? You remove all your weaknesses, remove all those vices. And when you can see the path clearly, you then won't settle for less, right? You'll always strive for more because your self-esteem is up. You've got more self-love. You've got more confidence. You know that you want more out of life, right? You're not going to settle for less. So when you're this new character, so to speak, you then end up wanting more out of life, right? Doors start opening. The man above, the universe, whatever you want to call it, starts to give you more doors that you can open, right, in your life. And that's exactly what happened to me. At 34, I didn't know which direction I wanted to go, right? It's a very scary thought, being 34 and not knowing which direction you want to go, not being happy in life. But what I did do was focus on what was in my control, right? Just as that mentor said, focus on building yourself and the path will illuminate as you walk it. Doors will start opening, right? Once you're that person with that right mindset, once your belief system has gone from, a weakened belief system where you think that you're not worthy, you think that you can't get this done, you can't start that business, you can't get that career that you really wanted, right? Shifting that to, I've got this, right? I deserve this. I'm going to get this, right? I'm hungry. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this goal. I'm going to strive for more, right? That's how your mindset is. So when you're that person, right? When you're that character, it only makes sense that you're going to strive for more. You won't settle for less, right? So your baseline purpose as a man is to build a better character so you can then walk that path. And as you walk that path and you keep striving for more, you keep becoming better than you were yesterday, doors will start opening in your life. You'll start taking more calculated risks in life, right? You're not operating through that fear-based mindset, right? Fear and scarcity. You're operating through that self-love and abundance mindset where you literally can turn your dreams into reality, right? There's nothing that you can't do essentially when you're that right character with that right mindset, with that right operating system. Yeah, so for any man that's out there that's in a position where they don't have clarity in the direction they want to go, my advice is focus on building a better version of yourself, right? Destroy that old identity. Start to incorporate the right daily habits in your life, right? Have the right lifestyle choices. Focus on that mindset, build that momentum, and just fall in love with the process. Don't think about the destination. Don't think about too much that's out of your control, right? Focus on what's in your control and what you can do today, right? And just focus on building this character. Be that role model in your life. And as you do this, you'll start to fall in love with the process, right? Every month I started to get better and better, and I started to notice significant changes in my life that I just started to fall in love with this whole process, right, of rebuilding my character. And as I kept doing that, my old character started to just disintegrate, right? Because I started to fall in love with this new person. And eventually, after the sort of 3 to 6 month period, I didn't know my old self anymore. I was like, who was that guy? How embarrassing. You know, I hated the old version of me, right? But I had to show up for myself and just focus on what was in my control. And that's when I got more clarity in the direction I wanted to go, right? I didn't know that this YouTube channel would be exactly where it's at right now. I didn't know I would have a coaching business, a beautiful relationship, right? All these things. I didn't know I was going to have all this, right? Because I didn't focus on those results. I just focused on building a better me. And then doors started opening up in life, right? I didn't think about the end result. I didn't think about, you know, the destination. I just thought about the journey. And I just fell in love with that, right? And I just focused on every day because that's all I had, right? That was only what was in my control. I visualized the direction I wanted to go, right? As my mindset became better, as my character started becoming better. And I turned literally that dream into reality, right? I always wanted to have a YouTube channel where I could help men, you know, become the best version of themselves, right? Talk about certain things. And start a coaching business, you know, doing something that I actually wanted to do, right? Something that I was passionate about, you know. And this is what I do now, right? I help men become the best version of themselves. I help men overcome their pain points that they're going through in life because this is what I've done for myself, right? My own life. And this is what I help men do, right? At the end of the day, my purpose is to help men transform their lives. And your purpose will more than likely be different to mine. But at the end of the day, I didn't know exactly, you know, where I was going to be a year from rebuilding myself, right? I had a vision, but I didn't focus completely on that vision, right? I just focused on showing up for myself and giving back to the world, right? Because that's something I neglected in my 20s. I was very selfish and everything was about me. That now it was time to focus on helping others, right? And again, this channel wouldn't exist if I didn't focus on rebuilding myself from that broken point that I was at 2 years ago. So please focus on building your character as a man, and then you'll be able to see the light a lot clearer, right, as you walk the path. And then your ultimate purpose will come to light, right? And you'll end up striving towards that purpose. And the world will become your oyster, right? You'll be able to create the life that you want. But too many guys are not focused on building their character that they end up paying the ultimate price, right? I know guys that are in their 40s, their 50s and 60s, because they don't have purpose, they're always striving for, you know, seeking external validation through materialistic items, through relationships, you know, buying that midlife crisis vehicle, right? They're always needing external things to fill that empty void inside, and that's a lack of purpose, right? And you don't want to be that way because you're going to be miserable in life. And that's what I did, right? In my 20s, I was just chasing materialistic items. I was chasing this, chasing that, right? And I did this because I was empty inside. So no matter what I got, whether that was a brand new car, clothes, a relationship, whatever it might be, I still felt empty after a while, right? Everything would be nice at the start, and then that empty void would kick in, right? And I'd end up chasing more, and it just doesn't end, right? You just end up living a miserable existence. You're playing the wrong game in life essentially as a man, and that's why every man needs purpose, right? Again, going back 2 years ago, because I didn't have purpose, I literally saw that next chapter of my life going nowhere, right? In that mental state that I was in at that low point, right? With that wrong mindset, my life was going downhill. I was destined to be that 40, 50, 60-year-old miserable in life, right? And I didn't want to be that way. So I focused on building myself, took the advice from that mentor who was like, do what's in your control, focus on building your character, and the path will illuminate as you walk it. And that's all I focused on, and that's when everything became clearer, and that's why I'm in this position that I'm at today, is because I just focused on what was in my control, right? And building myself to that ultimate character that I wanted to become, that I never had in my life, right? Destroying that old identity, and doors just started opening, right? So if you just focus on that and not focus too much on what's ahead and just focus on what's in your control, I guarantee you that you'll be able to create the life that you truly want, and you'll end up striving for more and not settling for less, right? So that's the first point, lack of purpose. The second point is getting myself in long-term relationships with women, right? wasted a lot of time in a sense. Well, it's not a waste because I've gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, right, when it comes to relationships, and that's also what I help men with. But at the end of the day, you know, I've been in long-term relationships for 15 years, right? And 2 years ago at 34, I went through a very nasty breakup. So I was at rock bottom. I was single, I was lonely, and I had to rebuild myself again, right? And when it came to women, right, I got myself in relationships from a young age, like 18 all the way through to 34, so roughly 15 years. But I was always seeking constant validation with women, right? I had certain insecurities that I was lacking, certain weaknesses, right? Unhealed trauma, I was lacking self-love. My self-esteem was low, even though I projected to the world that it wasn't, right? I had certain weaknesses, and I thought that by getting myself in a relationship, that would fix that problem, right? That would fill that gap, that empty void that I had inside. And because I didn't have no mission, I didn't have no clarity, I was lacking purpose, I ended up losing my frame in all those relationships, right? And I was so attached to the other person, right? I was so dependent on the other person. It's because of those insecurities, right? I didn't focus on those things. So if I was to give advice to my younger self, it would be focus on building your character first, right? Focus on, again, building that purpose as a man, right? Building that character. Strive to become the best version of yourself. Heal yourself from trauma. Heal yourself from those insecurities, right? You're lacking self-love. Start to show up for yourself. Build that self-love. Build that confidence. Build your self-esteem, right? Have that positive self-talk. Don't get yourself in long-term relationships to seek validation with the other person, because you're only going to, again, destroy yourself in the process, destroy someone else, right? Because every time the honeymoon period would end in these long-term relationships, my mask would come off, and I actually didn't have much substance to me, right? I wasn't as interesting as I was at the start of the relationship, because at the end of the day, my life was very basic, right? When you think about it, I would just go to work, come home, go out with these women, and that's all I did, right? So you could imagine there was nothing much to talk about when it came to my own life. I didn't have much substance. I didn't have much charisma behind me. Yes, I was good at, you know, getting myself on dates with women, getting myself in the relationship, but maintaining the relationship, that's a whole different story, right? That's a whole different story, and that was what I was lacking. And again, 2 years ago, everything came to light, right? These areas that I was lacking, these insecurities that I neglected in my 20s, you know, getting myself in relationship after relationship, seeking validation with women, blaming the other person always, not looking at my own wrongdoings, not looking at my own faults, right? I ended up paying the ultimate price. I was single at 34. I had no woman. And you could imagine how sad I would have felt, right? How lonely I was at the time. But again, it was the best thing that ever happened to me at the same time, because it's allowed me to focus on those weaknesses. It's allowed me to build self-love. It's allowed me to build my masculine frame again as a man, build that purpose, have a mission, you know, have a destination, a goal, a direction that I'm heading towards, right? And now the man above, right, ever since I focused on rebuilding myself, the man above gifted me with a beautiful woman that I'm in a relationship with now. And there's a strong dynamic where I lead this relationship, she follows. I've got my frame in the relationship, right? I've got substance behind me. I've got things that I do, right, because of my daily habits, my lifestyle choices, the direction that I'm heading in life, right? I've found my why, right? And he's gifted me a woman to support my mission in life. And you know what? I'm so grateful that I'm in this position, right? At the end of the day, as much as, you know, all that pain that I went through with all those breakups, you know, spending a lot of time in long-term relationships, and at the end of the day, getting kind of nowhere, right? Starting at square one again at 34, at a very low point in my life. I'm grateful it happened, because it allowed me to finally take responsibility and fix those areas I was neglecting, and stop blaming the other person, stop being selfish, and look at myself in the mirror and go, you know what? I'm responsible for this. I need to fix this, or I'm forever going to be passing on this emotional baggage in every relationship I get in, right? Seeking validation from someone else just because I was selfish to not focus on my own weaknesses as a man, right? Hurting someone else in the process. And this is what I did, dude. I just literally would just do this for years after years, right? Time would just pass by. I'd get myself in relationships, be in the same position again. My insecurities will come to light, get in another relationship. Emotional baggage would carry from that relationship to that relationship because I didn't heal myself and didn't focus on rebuilding my character. Once that honeymoon period would end, again, I would lose my frame in the relationship. I wouldn't be able to maintain the relationship. And as a byproduct of that, the woman loses her genuine burning desire towards you, right? And then the relationship is pretty much finished, right, at that stage. So again, focus on building yourself before you get into any relationships with a woman. Therefore, when you build this character, right, by showing up for yourself through your daily habits, through your self-discipline, you won't invite low-value women into your life. You won't settle for less. You won't be always running to a relationship for external validation because you've got that self-love. You feel good about yourself. Your self-esteem is high, right? As a byproduct of you showing up for yourself, that you're only going to attract a woman to suit you on the same wavelength that you're operating on, right? So focus on not neglecting those weaknesses. Focus on diving deep into, healing yourself. Focus on upgrading your character. And when you do that, you'll have more charisma, you'll have more substance, you'll be able to maintain the relationship, you'll be able to hold frame in that relationship, right? And not go through wasted years of being in a relationship. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not wasted because we learn lessons, right, from those relationships. But a lot of guys, and me myself, I kept making the same mistakes over and over again, right? And the universe, God was like, you're not learning, so I'm going to give you more of that, until everything came crashing down, right? So at the end of the day, as soon as I focused on building my character, that's when the man above rewarded me with the right woman who's in my life right now. And again, I'm grateful, like even though I did, spend a lot of unnecessary time in long-term relationships, 15 years, it is what it is, and it's, even though I made the same mistakes and I didn't learn quick enough, at least at the end of the day, I was able to take full accountability, full responsibility, fix myself, not blame the other person, right? And I've been gifted a woman in return who matches my mission in life, right? Who complements my life. So please pay attention to that, because otherwise you will find yourself always consistently seeking validation with women, getting yourself in long-term relationships. 5 years will go here, 7 years will go here, you'll break up there, you'll break up here, and then you'll just be in that same sort of cycle over and over again, right? And at the end of the day, you just need to reflect internally, fix yourself, then get into a relationship so you can therefore attract a better woman. And not only that, you can maintain the relationship, you can enjoy the relationship, you can hold your frame in the relationship, and you can have a feminine woman, right? So please pay close attention to that. Now, the third point is partying, drugs, vices, and I guess you could tie that into the next point as well, which is wrong role models. But again, for me, I spent a lot of my 20s partying, indulging in drugs, indulging in vices, junk food. And I thought I was invincible, right? I'll worry about it later, right? I'm just having fun, I'm in my 20s, so I'd again, work a job that I didn't like, make that money, party on the weekends, right? But I didn't party by myself. My social circle that was in my life was the wrong social circle, right? And they were all into partying, drugs, women, vices, junk food, all these things, right? A self-destructive path, so to speak. And because I hung around these guys, I became that as well, right? You are who you hang around. So again, I was responsible, right, for indulging in these vices, right, for having these friends in my life at that time, right? I was responsible. I chose those friends, and I was literally living a life that was pretty much what others were living, right? All those friends who had those bad habits, I had the same habits because I was literally imitating them, so to speak, right? And I grew up with the wrong role models. I grew up with other guys who, made the wrong choices in life, and I also, as a byproduct, made the wrong choices as well. But again, I'm responsible, and I learned a valuable lesson. Choose your friends wisely. And at the end of the day, if you're someone that doesn't have many friends, or you've got no friends right now, it's okay. You can embrace loneliness. Again, go back to the drawing board. Focus on building your character. Don't settle for less, right? Don't settle for these low-value friends who are not going to bring out the best in you. Focus on building your character. Focus on building that purpose as a man, so you can therefore strive for more with the right daily habits, with the right lifestyle choices, that you will only attract a better a friendship circle, a better social circle, guys that have things in common with you, right? Your relationship is not based on partying, drugs, vices. It's actually based on a genuine friendship, a genuine relationship where you care for one another, right? Your mates will pull you up and call you out on your bullshit when you're slipping up, right? They'll help you when you're at your low points. You can call them when you need help. They want to see you grow. They don't want to see you fail, right? A lot of my friends who are into all these things, they got jealous when I started to maybe do better or when I wanted more out of life. They just couldn't hack that and they'd try to bring me down, right? And that's why I say your friendship circle is something that you need to pay very close attention to. So right now, if you've got no friends, this is a beautiful opportunity for you to focus on building your character. And I'll tell you now, when you build your character, when you focus on building the right daily habits as a man, right? Focus on building the better you mentally, physically, spiritually. You only attract like-minded individuals. You only want to surround yourself with guys who are also showing up for themselves, who are not settling for less, right? So essentially, it will be so much better that even though now you're alone or now you're experiencing loneliness, if you focus on building yourself, that when you meet guys like this, you end up just bouncing off each other's energy, right? It is such a beautiful moment when you can just literally have a conversation with a like-minded brother who wants to see the best right in you, who supports you, who is there for you when you need, right? You can have a better relationship, you vibe better, right? It's the right relationship. It's not the wrong relationship, right? It's not based on the wrong things. It's based on improving yourself, guys that are also into self-improvement, personal development, growing, personal growth. You will meet these guys, you will attract these guys, because again, like attracts like. So if you're showing up for yourself, you will only meet these sorts of individuals, right? And these are the right brothers you want, because these guys will push you in the right direction and hold you accountable, right? So again, make sure you choose your friends wisely. If you've got bad friends in your life, you need to ditch them. You need to go to the drawing board and focus on those areas that you need to focus on, right? Those weaknesses, those areas that you're lacking that I mentioned. Or if you've got no friends right now, even better, you've got no distractions, that you can go all in, and I guarantee you will attract the right friendship circle. Once you start showing up for yourself, the man above will put you in the right position at the right time to meet the right people. So please don't think, I'm going to be lonely for the rest of my life. That's your mindset. That's your belief system being weak. But when you show up for yourself, that all shifts, right? You have a mindset shift. Once you shift that identity, and then you'll attract the right friends in your life. Then you'll meet the right people, right? So pay close attention to that, because I wasted a lot of time hanging around these guys, and it just took a lot of time, away from me, and time's something that, we don't have much of, even though we don't think about, we think we have a lot of time, we actually don't, right? And I would say time is a valuable asset, right? Don't waste it being around the wrong people who don't bring out the best in you, and just focus on building that character. Now, this brings me to my last point, and this is literally something I wish I paid very close attention to, right? And that's, my self-improvement, right? My self-improvement journey. If I'd focused on this earlier in my 20s, and again, I don't have regrets in life, right? It's made me into who I am today. Whether I learned earlier or later, it doesn't matter, I've learned, right? But if I can give you any advice, it's to focus on self-improvement, right? Focus on self-improvement. Don't just consume self-improvement, but apply self-improvement to your life, right? And the areas that I neglected, that I should have dived deeper into, right, was fitness, was my health, longevity, cultivating a stronger mindset, cultivating stronger self-discipline skills, building self-love, building my self-esteem, personal growth, right, setting goals, achieving those goals, showing up for myself, building that purpose. I wish I paid more close attention to my self-improvement and how I didn't realize how important it was, right? Because when you're in your 20s, again, you feel invincible, right? You think, I'll worry about it later, but then later comes, and your reality is exactly a reflection of how you've been living your life, right, in the past. So again, when I was at that breaking point 2 years ago, I was like, wow, I haven't even focused on any self-improvement consistently. And I had to pay the ultimate price, right? I was at a very low point. Please take what I'm saying seriously. When I say low point, I mean 10 feet underground, broken, right? Broken at 34. So if I was to look back and give advice to my younger self, or give advice to you, it's to focus on your self-improvement, right? Focus on your fitness, your health, your personal growth, your mindset, the self-discipline, the self-love, build that character. Focus on all these areas. This is within your control. And when you focus on all these areas, right, the byproduct is you living a better life, living a life that you are in control of, living a life where you can make your dreams into reality, right? But at the end of the day, if I look back, because I was lacking self-improvement, because I was lacking that purpose, all those other areas would be a byproduct of my life at that time, right? Because I didn't focus on these areas of growth that I paid the price in other areas. And then everything came crashing down 2 years ago, right? Even though I went through a breakup, all other areas that I neglected all came to light. It all hit me twice as harder because of all these things, right? Because I neglected all these things. It all caught up to me. So essentially, I had to work twice as hard 2 years ago. And I'm thankful I had enough fire within, right? I had that burning desire to make that change. That's why I'm here. That's why this channel exists, because I went all in. And when I say all in, I said I went all in, man. I literally contacted no one. I went in a complete monk mode because I had to save my life. I had to rebuild this life, right? To focus on all those areas I neglected. So essentially, I had to create that role model I never had, right? And I didn't have someone say to me in my 20s, hey man, look, I can literally predict your future, and it's going to end up you're going to live a very miserable existence, because the way you're living is not congruent with the direction that you want to live, right? Or what you want to live. Because I told myself, yeah, I'm going to live a good life. I'm going to strive for more. And I was like, I'll worry about it later, right? And later caught up to me. So I wish I had someone, a role model, an older brother, a father figure, right? I didn't have that. Say to me, you need to focus on these areas, right? Or you will pay the ultimate price. So I guess for me, right, being 34, having to rewrite that next chapter, that's my mission in life, right? I was meant to live this existence where I had to go through all these pain points, this adversity, right? I believe the man above, God, whatever you want to call it, made me go through this so I can then fix these problems, create this YouTube channel, and help others, inspire others to make that change, make them realize that it's not too late, make them realize that there will be an ultimate price you will have to pay, whether it's, if you're not paying it now and you're in your 20s, I'm telling you right now, you will pay the price later. You'll pay the ultimate price later. And for men that are in their 30s and 40s watching this, and you're going through or you're experiencing what I've discussed with you in today's video, you'll know. You'll be feeling what I'm talking about. And you're paying the ultimate price as you watch this. But just understand that you can change this, right? You can change your life around. And just know that nothing will change by itself. It starts with you taking responsibility and focusing on those weaknesses, focusing on the areas that you're lacking in, and just understand that you can create the life that you want. It's never too late. You can do it in a short amount of time, right? But you need to be able to walk that path clearly. You need to have no distractions. You need to go all in. You need to kill that old identity, rebuild that character as a man. And that's when doors will start to open. That's when life truly starts for you as a man, right? So if you're miserable right now, this is a good thing. This is a wake-up call. At least you're feeling emotions, right? Even though they're negative, you're feeling something. So obviously this is a sign from the man above telling you that you need to get your shit together. You need to focus on the areas that you are neglecting, or you will keep paying the ultimate price, right? Look at your life. You're obviously not happy with where you're at, right? That's why you're watching self-improvement videos, because you want answers. You need that help, right? You need that guidance. Well, I'm giving it to you, right? I'm telling you exactly what destroyed my life, what I neglected, what I didn't focus on, and why I had to pay. And that's why I paid the ultimate price 2 years ago. It wasn't just that breakup, right? Yes, that was painful, but I brought that on myself. Those were areas that I neglected in my life, right? All the things I discussed in this video was a byproduct of that. Was the wrong momentum I built up over years, right? Over 15 years. And then 2 years ago, everything hit me at once. It came crashing down. And again, I'm so grateful it happened to me, because that's why this channel exists. Because I took responsibility, I took accountability, and I refused to live my 40s, my 50s, my 60s, my 70s miserable, broken, lonely, not loving what I saw in the mirror. I saw my life falling apart. I saw it, and that absolutely scared me. That absolutely scared me. So I went all in. So just understand, you're not invincible. You will pay the ultimate price later. You're probably paying the price now if you're in your 30s or 40s. So start to get to work, because things are not going to change unless you show up for yourself, right? So I can't stress this enough, right? This is coming from the bottom of my heart, because I truly know what works and what doesn't work after making so many mistakes for the last 15 years. Please take what I'm saying seriously, right? I'm going to end the video here. I hope you got some sort of value from this video. I hope this woke you up, opened your eyes to tapping into that hidden potential that you have deep down inside. Just know, if I can change my life around, so can you. There's nothing special about me to you, right? It's just I chose to go all in. I saw the future direction of my life going downhill, and I was damned to let that happen. I was not going to let that happen. I was not going to be another version of certain people that I know in my life, right, that have neglected these areas and that are paying the ultimate price in their 50s, in their 60s. I wasn't going to be another version of that, right? I'm not going to live a miserable existence. We got one existence. Why not make it a life that you create, right? A life that's on your terms, a life that you enjoy, a life that you wake up and you're like, yes, I'm striving to be the best version of myself. It feels good, right? A man that has a mindset where it's strong and he can literally just achieve whatever he wants. There's nothing that's out of his limits, right? Whatever he thinks he can do, he will do, right? Whatever he wants, he will bring into fruition into his life, right? Because he's that character, he's that guy, he's built himself to that version of himself that he'll only attract that into his life, because that's his mindset. That's what his self-worth is. That's what his self-talk is, right? So focus on this. So if you resonate with me, you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me keep making more valuable content. Drop your comments down below, right? If you're going through anything right now, any hurdles in life, anything that you can relate with what I discussed in today's video, drop it down below. I'd love to hear your side of the story. Your story or your comments can also help other men who are stuck, right? So please drop it down below, share it, and I will get back to each and every one of you guys, right? Even if I don't get back straight away, I read every message and I'll reply to every message. I'll share my advice as well. But yeah, if you like the video, give it a like. It always helps the algorithm. And again, if you need that help, right? If you want to build that purpose as a man, if you want to strive towards more in life, right? You want to fix these weaknesses. You want to rebuild that character, right? You're sick of living this way. I can help you with this. This is what I help my existing clients with. This is what I've helped myself with, and I can help you get there as well, right? You just need the right accountability partner to get you there, right? With the right blueprint, and I'm telling you, you'll get the results so much quicker. So please invest in yourself if you're stuck, if you're in any of these positions, and I can help you get there, right? So click the link down below. You can book a free coaching call with me, and I'll see if you're the right fit for the program or not. But look, ending the video here, I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.